let's see the remaining functions. We done with the functions, date functions and all those things, right? So so let's start with the number functions today. So we'll see about the number functions. We're done with character functions. We're done with the date functions. We'll see about the number functions. Okay, so number functions will accept the input as a number and it return the numerical values. So the input number తీసుకుంటది, output కూడా నీకు number ఇస్తుంది. Okay, see. We already see about the round function, trunc function and the date functions. Okay, so roundup function, like we said, like a 0.5 or something, if you have, it gets rounded the values. Okay, so it will make as a 1. Okay, so till 0.99 it will give 1. So if you have like 0.4 till 49, it will give. So then trunc function. So trunc function will do it truncate the, so it trim that decimal values, display the actual integer value. If we have like till 499 also, we'll get only 0. Okay, so the mod function will help you to mod. Okay, so mod function will help you to get the remainder value of anything. So if you are dividing with any value, so 20, will get 0. Okay, so if you divide it by like 20 divided by 2, okay, you will get a 10. So dividend, divider, remainder. So we have like a 3 things, right? So if you want to find out the remainder value, we'll go with the mod function. Okay, so and other things, floor. Okay, so floor is the function which is used to if we have like a 1.2 floor down, seal up. Okay, so floor anedi, so if you have any decimal values, so if you want to get the previous integer value, and the previous integer, if you are now in like a 99.9 rupees. So what is your actual integer value? So you are in like a 99 rupees మీరు పూర్తిగా ఎర్న్ చేస్తాం అంటే ప్రీవియస్ నియరెస్ట్ ఇంటీజర్ వాల్యూ ఏంటి? సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ లైక్ 99.2, what is your previous nearest integer? Previous ante 99. So if you want to find out the next nearest integer value, we'll go with the seal function. Okay, so now we have like a 1.2. So you are getting like a previous nearest integer value 29, 99. Okay, so this seal function also will give the same type of output. Seal. Okay, ceil function will give the next nearest integer value. So if you are in like a 2 directly, so we are 99, we will get the that is your nearest integer value. You are in the nearest integer value itself. So you won't give any. If you have any decimal values, it will go for the next nearest integer value. Okay, so floor function will help you to get the previous nearest integer value. Ceil function will help you to get the next nearest integer value. Round function will help you round the values. So 9.99. Okay, so then we have the trunk function. So trunk function 9.99. Okay, so the trunk function and floor function work the same. So 9.99, it will give the previous nearest integer value 9. The trunk function will also give the same thing. It remove that decimal values and display that. So meaning both are the same. So you can able to achieve with these two functionalities, either one. See, but you cannot say like a ceil and the round function are not both are same. So because so the round function will do the values like a 4.5. So it will display like 9. Not it, right? So you cannot able to say, but the floor and the trunk function will work as a same. Okay, so then Ascii function. Okay, Power function will help you to get the power of any value. So 25 into 25. So if you want to know like 2 power 2, 4, right? Power 2, 2 cube, 2 cube, 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8. You see like 3 cube, 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27. Okay, so you can able to get the power of anything like 2 power 4, 2 power 8, anything. Okay, so the power function will work for that. So then the square root function. Okay, the square root function will help you to. So whatever the power value we have, so what is that exact power of that? So మీరు ఏంటి 25 625 ఉంది 625 పవర్ అంటే ఏం చేయాలని సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ది 625 పవర్ ఏంటి 2 పవర్ ది 2 పవర్ 2 అన్నప్పుడు యూ విల్ గెట్ లైక్ 4 ఓకే సో దాని స్క్వేర్ ఏంటి తెలుసుకోవాలి అన్నప్పుడు విల్ యూస్ okay so square root function will help you to get the square of any value. So if you provide like a 625 divided by 2, not a 2. So if you want to find out 55 into by meaning the same number need to be multiplied with the same number. So what the value we will get that actually. Okay, so 625. See, so if you want to find out these 35 of square. So we'll use the square root function for that. Then mod function, however, we see about Ascii function. So Ascii function will help you to get the Ascii value. Ascii value and it's a okay. So you are writing everything in the alphabetical and the numerical values. Everything you are written in the alphabetical value and the numerical values. There must be some value for each and every character. So Oracle will knows the binary language. So Oracle, so now how your computer will work with understand the ML, machine learning language. So that have like a zeros and ones. So నువ్వు రాసిన ప్రతి కోడ్ ఏ అన్నా కూడా so the system need to understand that alphabetical A. We need to write that letter in the zeros and ones. The same way the Oracle will convert that whatever the value you are providing here that get converted into ASCII values. Then the ASCII values will understand the system. Oracle can understand the ASCII values. Based on that, the system can give the results. If you see like a small a, if you provide like small a, it treat like as a 97. Okay, so I'm saying I'm passing like a 97. So for that also they have some value, different value. Okay, so if you are providing like a star symbol, okay, so then use the another things. Okay, so there must be some ASCII values for your characters. 47. Wait. Asterisk. Okay, so if you want to find out of any characters, ASCII values, so we'll use the ASCII function. Okay, so sometimes if you want to replace the values in the replace function, okay, if the name is having like this. Okay, so if you have this name, you cannot able to save this name in your table. Okay, see, if you see, I'm creating some table. Okay, I created as a NM name. See, if you want to store this value, we cannot able to store this value directly. Now I need to save the name as is, Vashish. I need to save my name as is. So if you want to save this, we need to use the double quotations. We need to use the double quotations. It accepts that values. It is not allowing here. It is not allowing here. So this double quotation works with the column names, not with the data. So I already shown like while discussing about the table creations, I already shown about this. Okay, so we need to use for this Q is a string, Q string. So we can call it as a Q string. So simply mention that in brackets. So what are the things we have? Put everything in this Q string. Okay, so I will show you. One row is inserted. Select the data in your table. Okay, see, Vashish. Okay, if you want to store anything, so this. It is not at all giving any trouble. So I'm giving like a okay. So Q string is the string which is used to, it need to be in a small letter q. Okay, bracket start చేసి bracket sorry single quotation start చేసి end చేసి తర్వాత any bracket you can able to put any bracket. So you can place the value in this place. Whatever the value you are providing here, it can be insert as is. Okay, it can be insert as is. Okay, so the Q string will help you a lot of places if you want to insert what are the data you need to. So if you have any special characters, there may be sometimes you get some troubles. So you can able to insert the data with the curly braces or open braces, anything. Okay, the start brace and end brace need to be same. The start brace and the end brace need to be same. Okay, so now we inserted the data here. Okay, this is your data. So if you want to replace the single quotations. Now I need to retrieve the data. So whatever the column is having the single quotations. Now I need to retrieve the data name like, so we can use the like an, if you want to find out name with, so whatever the having name of A, that I need to retrieve. So I will use the A percentile percentile. So we'll get all type of A's. Now I need to find out the hyphen. So ఏదైతే name ki single quotations undo, I need to retrieve that names. So whatever the name is having with single quotation, that name I need to replace here. So retrieve. See here, invalid character. You cannot able to see here because the identifier of a name is started with an ASCII character of other than letter or a number. The system cannot able to understand for these situations. For these situations, we'll use the ASCII functions. So in the single quotations yokka ASCII kavali neeku. So you cannot able to find the single quotations ASCII. For that, we'll use the char of it. Single quotation. Also not. So we have a char is another function to get the situations, right? Okay, so we want to replace the character single quotations in your name. So we need to use the char of 39. Okay, so ASCII function will help you to get the what is the value of that ASCII. If you have any characters, what is your ASCII value for that? So you cannot able to find the single quotation ASCII value here. So in these situations, use the character function. So it will help you to. So if we use like a ASCII single quotation rasina okate value untadi, you can mention this char of 39 also, it will give the single quotations. Okay, see, so if you want to see char of 39, okay, so provide the name like not the name we mentioned that you provide in the single quotations. She will get. See, this is the value you inserted. So now instead of single quotations, I have inserted with the single quotation by using the char function. Got it? So now if you want to replace the single quotations, so now my client is asking to replace the single quotations. I don't want to maintain the single quotations for any one of the employee or any one of the name. Okay, now name like not able to. Now we have this, right? So name in place of name. So use the of 39. Okay, so what are the string you are going to replace that you can mention that. Okay, see here. So I replace the value with the char function using char function. Now see every value got replaced with the null. So whatever the single quotation value we have, you are mentioning that single quotation value by using the char function and you are replacing with the null. Okay, so in the situations, these type of functions will help you to resolve this type of things. So now we have more than this easiest ways by using the regular expressions. Okay, so we have the regular expressions for that. We can able to resolve that. Okay, so seal function, we see about the seal function, square root function, so then trunk function. Okay, so while working with the round of things here, so okay, it rounds a value up to given number of positions. Okay, that is if last eliminating value is less than or greater than or equal to 5, then it simply add one value to your left side adjustment value. So ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, సో సెలెక్ట్ రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ 15 పాయింట్ అంటే డెసిమల్ వాల్యూస్ ని కూడా మనం రౌండ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో యూ ఆర్ నాట్ టచింగ్ విత్ యాక్చువల్ ఇంటీజర్ వాల్యూ. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు డూ ది decimal values, rounding the decimal values. Okay, so now see, if I use the round function directly, you will get a 15 because 15.2 you can treat like this is value 15.2. So now I'm mentioning like a 15.2345. So now I'm mentioning like a round the values of decimal values round with the two letters. Now we have like a 4 letters of the decimal values. Now I am making with the 2 letters. So 4 letter lo nunchi 2 letters ga nevu convert cheyi. Okay. 23. Okay. So if it is like a 26. Okay. So 26.55. Now see here. The decimal value 26 we have. After that, whatever the decimal values we have, if it is till 49, you will get a 26, same value. Okay, if it is greater than of that, we'll go with the, you will get the next nearest integer value. Next nearest decimal, not with the. Okay, so while working with the decimal values, you need to use like how many decimal values I need to keep here. So if you may get like more like 5, 6 decimal values, so you cannot able to showcase that. So you can, whatever the decimal values you need to provide to the client. Okay, so instead of maintaining like 15.9999 like a more number of times, no use, right? So simply mention like 15.9 or 15.99. It's enough for that. Okay, so round function, the same way the trunk function will work as well. Okay, so it put the decimal, how many number of decimals I need to put. So it won't add any number of characters. If you are in like a 99 also, it won't add anything. Because trunk function will remove the other than whatever the expected things you have. You mentioned like 15.2. So 2 decimals you are expecting. So other than that, if you have any other decimal values, it will remove that decimal values. Got it right? So this is about the number functions. Okay, this is about the number functions. So string functions we've done. Lpad, rpad. So we'll see general functions. General function user ID. So if you create like a, see, want to connect to the database, there must be some user for you to connect with the database. Show user. You connected with the HR user. Okay, so you connected with the HR user. So if you want to find out the username from the query, select user from dual. User is the function which is used to find out the current user. So మీరు ఏ యూజర్ తోటి లాగిన్ అయినారో సో ఆ యూజర్ ని మనం తెలుసుకోవచ్చు ఇక్కడ. Okay, so UID, the user may have some ID 43. So if you want to find out this UID and the username, so there must be some place. So enter the select star from all underscore users. So we connected with the HR. HR user ID is 43. So this is what you are expecting from that using that function. Okay. So then greatest least. Okay. Greatest least. Now you have like a EMP table. EMP table. Now if you want to find out the, so who is having the maximum salary? So greatest value. Greatest salary, who is getting the greatest salary, who is getting the least salary. So if you want to retrieve this type of information, we'll use either max or min function. Max will to get the greatest value. min also will get for to get the least value. Okay, so now you are expecting the data in the form of column level, not in the form of rows. Okay, so in the so you are expecting the value of the salary column, not with the row level. So you are not looking for the row level. You are expecting the values either minimum or maximum or greatest or anything at the column level. So we'll go with the aggregate functions, minimum, maximum. Now, so if you want to find out at the column level, so not the column level, it's a row level. Now we have the salary column and the commission column. Now we have the two columns, salary and the commission column. Okay. Now, okay, so if you want to find out these two values, so which one is the least, which one is the highest? So who is getting like a few people may get some commission greater than the salaries. So క్లర్క్స్ ఉంటారు, క్లర్క్స్ కి అడిషనల్ ఇన్కమ్ ఎక్కువ వస్తుంది, అర్థమవుతుందా? సో అడిషనల్ ఇన్కమ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ హూ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ మోర్ దాన్ ది సాలరీ ఆఫ్ యాజ్ ఎ కమిషన్. ఓకే, సో హూ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ లెస్ దాన్ ఆఫ్ సాలరీ. సో ఇలాంటివి ఏమైనా తెలుసుకోవాలి అట్ కాలమ్ లెవెల్, నాట్ అట్ ది కాలమ్ లెవెల్, ఇట్ రోల్ లెవెల్. సో యు ఆర్ ఎక్స్పెక్టింగ్ ద డేటా అట్ row level. So we'll use the least. So compare the values for this. See, null and 800. So you will get the null. So you cannot able to compare with the null values with any other value. You cannot able to compare with null values with any other value. Okay, so 300, 600. So which one is least? 300. Okay, 500, 250. See here in this case, there is a salary less than the commission. There is one employee less than the commission, 250. Okay, if you want to see the greatest, it works with any number of arguments. It works with any number of arguments. See, so I'm mentioning like a 50 here. For every row, you will get like 50 now. Because I mentioned like a 50 is the least value. Okay, whatever the null value we have, that all are getting nulled. Because you cannot able to compare with any null value with any other values. Okay, so to overcome these situations, we'll use the NVL function in this place. NVL of commission comma 0. Okay, so whatever the null values we get here, so salary must be present for each and every employee. So there is a chance to does not have the commission for any one of the employees. Okay, so for that reason, I mentioned the NVL function for this. So you can able to mention this NVL of salary also with the 0. Okay, so greatest and least. Greatest will help you to get the row level greatest value. Okay, so least will help you to get the row level least value, row level, not at the column level. Okay, so then we have the aggregate functions. Okay, so aggregate functions, minimum, maximum, average, these are all we already explained about this. Okay, so now we'll see some minimum, maximum, everything we'll see about that. Okay, so we need to see about some things about the count functions. Okay, now okay, so now I'm connecting with the other user actually. Okay, so this is your table. Now, if you want to find out the maximum salary, use this function. Now, if you want to find out the maximum salary department wise, Okay, so if you have the department information, your employee table. Now I need to find out who is getting the salary by department wise. Now we have three departments here, 10, 20, 30. Now I need to retrieve like who is getting the maximum salary on each department. Max of salary. EM. Now see, you are getting the error because not a single group or group function. This is your group function. Aggregate function or group function both are same. Okay, so now none other than the group function, whatever the columns you are mentioning in the select list, that columns must and should be present in a group by class. Group by class. Okay, so now we are getting the maximum salary for each and every department. Okay, now I need to find out like a number of employees on each department. Number of employees on each department. Now see, we have 6 people on a 10th department, correct? So use the count star. 12, 10, 6. 18 plus 10, 20, 28. Okay, now we have this data, correct? Now I am missing like a count of employee number. Instead of star, I'm mentioning like a count of employee number with the column name. So you are getting the same result. See the data in employee table. So now I'm removing the duplicate records from my tables. If you want to delete the duplicate data from your table, use the delete from table name where OID max of OID from by EMP number. Okay, so this is the query to delete the data from employee table. So if we use like delete from EMP, it get deleted all the records. As you haven't mentioned any condition. I haven't selected that. So I have written this where class, but I haven't selected that. So whatever the query I required for you, I selected that query and I run that. Okay, it is deleting all the records. Okay, so there must be a duplicate meaning. There must be some reason like you are saying like so by observing these conditions, see every record so having as a duplicate 7369. The whole record is same with the 2. Okay, so now you are treating like I say. So then there is a record is a duplicate record. Okay, so sometimes you may see like employee number must be in a queue. So by some reason you inserted like as a non-primary key column for employee number. Okay, so కానీ నువ్వు డేటాని ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు you cannot able to provide same employee number for any other persons. Okay, so ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? So you can able to judge with the employee number sometimes. So employee table లో employee number అనేది in a queue ఉండాలి. So for some reason you haven't mentioned that. So still if you want to allow the data or if you want to delete the duplicates, we'll use this query. So ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? Max function ఏం చేస్తుంది? Okay, so before that we'll see some concept like row ID గురించి చెప్పాను మీకు. Row ID. లేదు కదా? Okay, so let's see. employee number, employee name, salary, commission, EPT number. Okay, so let's see. I selected few of the columns and I explain. Okay, how I'm mentioning like a row number. Now see, you are not seeing any duplicate here. Okay, so the row number function will help you to get the. So if you are inserting one record into the table, it will provide row number as a 1 for that employee. So if you are inserting as a second row, okay, for that second row, I'm going to provide as a row number value is 2. Okay, if you are inserting n number of rows, I will provide like a nth value for that particular row. So you are not inserting manually. So the system will automatically understand that this is your 10th record. So the row number value is 10. If it is like 15, it will provide like a 15. Okay. Now see, we haven't inserted the duplicate at a time. Okay, we inserted manually. We inserted the manually. So 14 records first time, then we'll inserted the another 14 records. 7369. Okay, 7369. See here, till 14 records, it got same. So other than like again, it sorted with 800, 1600. So on which record you inserted? This is first record. If you inserted, it will display like a 1. 10th record, 10, 15, 15. So now see the row number value. The row number value is that. Okay, so we have row ID. Okay, we have row ID as well. See here. So the row ID is a hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal number, it have like a 18 number of characters. 18 number of characters untadi. Okay, so now see till 14. Till 14, we will have the same results. So after that, you inserted as a new record. The system is understanding as does not have any relation between the first record and the last record. Okay, the system is treating like I said, both are the two different records. It inserted the data into the table with the new address. So row ID is a address ID for a record. So row ID అనేది ఏంటంటే సో ఆ రికార్డ్ ఎక్కడైతే ఒక ప్లేస్ లో స్టోర్ అయి ఉంటది కదా ఆ ప్లేస్ యొక్క అడ్రస్ అర్థమవుతుందా సో హౌ యూ హ్యావ్ ది ఆధార్ నెంబర్ సో ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఈస్ యువర్ అడ్రస్ ఐడి సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ యువర్ అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఐ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు క్యాచ్ యూ వెరీ ఈజీలీ సో ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఈస్ యువర్ place where do you stay that you can get that information using that Aadhaar number. Okay, alane so where that record is stored in some place, a database. Usually the data gets stored in the segments. So usually the data gets stored in the segments. The segment have the multiple. So if you have some family like treat like as a we have 3 BHK flat ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎర్లియర్ ఏంటి ఇది వరకు అంటే సపరేట్ గా ఎవడు అన్నదమ్ములు ఇదే స్ప్లిట్ అయినప్పుడు బిగ్గర్ ఫ్యామిలీ స్మాలర్ ఫ్యామిలీ అయినప్పుడు స్ప్లిట్ చేసుకొని 3 సపరేట్ హౌసెస్ బిల్డ్ చేసుకుంటాం సో ఇది వరకు ఏంటంటే పెద్దోళ్ళు అదే ఇది నీకు ఇది వాడికి ఇది వీడికి అని చెప్పి స్ప్లిట్ చేసుకునేవారు సో సేమ్ ఫ్యామిలీలోనే ఉంటారు కానీ వీఆర్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ సమ్ ర్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ దట్ ఈచ్ పీపుల్ అర్థమవుతుందా సో ఇలా ఏమవుతుందంటే సో యు ఆర్ జనరేటింగ్ సమ్ అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఇన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ హౌస్ ఆ హౌస్ లో ఫస్ట్ ఎవడైతే ఉన్నాడో అమ్మా నాన్న అనుకో సో వాళ్ళకి ఇది దానికి ఒక అడ్రస్ ఐడి సో మళ్ళీ తర్వాత చైల్డ్ 1 చైల్డ్ 2 చైల్డ్ 3 అని ఒక అడ్రస్ ఐడి జనరేట్ చేస్తాము రూమ్ లోనే ఉన్నదాన్ని స్ప్లిట్ చేసి ఇది నీకు అని చెప్పి సపరేట్ చేస్తాము ఓకే సేమ్ వే వీఆర్ జనరేటింగ్ దాట్ అండ్ యాజ్ ఏ అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఫర్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ రికార్డ్ వేర్ దాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ ద డేటాబేస్ ఓకే సో అడ్రస్ ఐడి అనేది మీరు స్ప్లిట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇట్ కెనాట్ ఏబుల్ టు మిక్స్ సో ఒక్కసారి కుటుంబం విడిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ కలవడం అనేది జరగదు అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నువ్వు కలవక ముందు, నువ్వు విడిపోక ముందు ఎంతైనా నువ్వు కలిసి ఉండడానికి ట్రై చేయాలి. సో వన్స్ స్ప్లిట్ అయిందంటే ఫ్యామిలీ మళ్ళీ క్లబ్ అవ్వడం అనేది జరగదు అసలు. అలాని సో వన్స్ ఇఫ్ ఐ జనరేట్ సమ్ డిఫరెంట్ అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఫర్ ఆల్ ది పీపుల్, సో ఐ కెనాట్ ఏబుల్ టు సే లైక్ సో దిస్ పర్సన్ అండ్ మీ ఆర్ బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఆ అడ్రస్ ఏదైతే నేను జనరేట్ చేసి ఉంటానో ఎక్స్ పర్సన్ కి వై పర్సన్ కి, సో ఇఫ్ ఐ డిలీట్ దట్ రికార్డ్, సో ఇఫ్ సమ్మన్ ఈస్ డైడ్ దట్ పర్సన్, ఓకే నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు చనిపోతావు, నీకు అడ్రస్ నెంబర్ ఉంటుంది, నీ అడ్రస్ ఐడి నీ యూనిక్ ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఎవరికైనా ఇస్తారా గవర్నమెంట్? సో బికాస్ సో ద గవర్నమెంట్ నీడ్స్ టు నో హీస్ అలైవ్ ఆర్ నాట్. Based on your Aadhaar number, I can able to catch that information. So if you provide that account number, so Aadhaar number for any other person, I cannot able to judge like so who is the first person of the details about the అంటే ఫస్ట్ పర్సన్ యొక్క డీటెయిల్స్ లేదా సెకండ్ పర్సన్ యొక్క డీటెయిల్స్ అని జడ్జ్ చేయలేదు. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నౌ రో ఐడి ఈస్ ది అడ్రస్ ఐడి ఫర్ దట్ వేర్ ద డేటాబేస్ రికార్డ్ ఈస్ స్టోర్డ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో దెన్ రో నెంబర్, సో రో నెంబర్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు రో నెంబర్ ర్యాంక్ ఇచ్చాం 1 2 3 అని చెప్పి ర్యాంక్ ఇచ్చాం. యూ హ్యావెంట్ జనరేటెడ్ యువర్ ఆధార్ నెంబర్, సో జస్ట్ ఇది నీకు అని పంచుకున్నాం. ఓకే సో ఉంటారు అన్నదమ్ములు, వాడికి మంచి ఇల్లు ఇచ్చారు, నాకు మంచి ఇల్లు ఇవ్వలేదు అని చెప్పి నేను ఐ కెన్ స్ప్లిట్ దట్ ఇంటూ అని చెప్పి వాడు ఆక్యుపై చేస్తాడు అనమాట. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, అమ్మ నాన్న అడ్జస్ట్ అయ్యి వాళ్ళ కోసం రూమ్ నెంబర్ అనేది చేంజ్ చేసుకుంటారు. అవుతుందా? జరుగుతుందా? సేమ్. సో ద రో నెంబర్ మే బి there is a chance to get a change. So there is no like a paper, you haven't written anything, like you haven't sold that house. So just you are adjusted with the room members. Child 1 in a child 1 place, child 2 in a child 1 place. So swiping these details, there is a chance for that. So if someone లేదు ఇప్పుడు ఉన్నారు ఇద్దరుంటే ఇద్దరులో ఒకరు ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ హ్యాపెన్, సో హీఈస్ నాట్ నో మోర్ ఫర్ టుడే, సో ఏం చేస్తాడు, హీ కెన్ ఆక్యుపై ఫ్రమ్ టుమారో ఆన్వర్డ్స్, హీ కెన్ ఆక్యుపై దిస్ రూమ్ యాజ్ వెల్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో రో ఐడి is a physical address, it never change, but row number there is a chance to get the change of the record. Now I'm pinning this output, so totally we have 28 records. Okay, see the 7369, so you cannot able to sort the data. See, cannot select the row ID from a sample value, be the distinct, so you cannot able to sort the data also. Okay, so now I'm pinning this. సో ఇక్కడ పిన్ చేశాను. ఓకే సో ఈ పిన్ అవుట్పుట్ని పిన్ చేశాను. సో 7369కి AAA ఉంది, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ సేమ్. ఇఫ్ యూ సీ టిల్ లైక్ 26 రికార్డ్స్ విల్ సీ లైక్ AAX, AAY, AAZ, then it is going for the AA small a. So then start with the AAB, then AAC. If you insert the another record, it's started with the AAC. Okay, now so now I'm treating like as a every employee number is your group. Okay, so ఒక్కొక్క ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్ ని ఒక గ్రూప్ గా తీసుకుంటున్నాను. సేమ్ అవుతుంది 7369 7369, these two are the records, two are the records. See, first and the last record highlighted of this. Okay, so 800 everything will same. See, in this place row number is 1, in this place row number is 15. Okay, so now AA AAA ikkademo AAO. Okay, now see the results. So now I'm trying to delete the record, one of the record. Delete from EMP. If I use this, you will lose all the data. So you haven't mentioned any condition else. Now it is deleting all the records. Now I am rollbacking. Now I am trying to mention like a where employee number equal to 7369. So we are going to delete the first record 7369. Now if we use this condition, it get deleted the two records because we have two employee numbers with the same employee number. So it is deleting the two records. Now I am rollbacking. Okay, now I am rollbacking and okay, now I'm mentioning like a row num equal to 1. Row num equal to 1. So you cannot say like a, so, okay, so you may treat like I say 7369 is having one record is having the row number equal to 1 and another record is having like 15. Okay, so I'm mentioning like a 7499 is my employee number, not like a 7499 my employee number. Okay, if I use this 7499, Alan is having like 15, 16 and 2 is a row numbers. Okay, so this row number anedi, if we use in the select class, okay, it will provide like a sequence number for every record. Now, if I mention in this way, see, before deleting the data, so kindly check where the select well. Select star from employee where the employee number equal to 7499. Okay, so now I'm mentioning this employee number, row ID, phone number. Okay, see here, the row number is getting changed. Row number అనేది, so if you are in like a, so ఇక్కడ ఈ ఏరియాలో ఉన్నప్పుడు మీ row number వేరే ఉండొచ్చు, మీ సీక్వెన్స్ roll number అనేది వేరే ఉండొచ్చు. So if you are shift from like a, if you are joined some X school, those people will generate the row ID 1, 2, 3. Okay, some you shifted for any other school, those people will generate the row number. So but ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఎక్కడ మీరు జాయిన్ అయినా కూడా, ఏ స్కూల్లో జాయిన్ అయినా కూడా సేమ్ ఆధార్ నెంబర్ ఉంటుంది మీకు. Okay, see now. So see, as I said, like a row ID. ఏంటి 7499 యొక్క row ID ఏంటి? AAB. Okay, 7499 యొక్క row ID AAP. AAP. Check this in please. AAB, AAP. Row number అనేది చేంజ్ అయింది, కానీ row ID అనేది చేంజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. Now see, now if I mention like a and row num equal to 1. Okay, so now you will get like a B. Okay, so delete this record. So we'll use the first record. We'll use first record here. Out of two records, you deleted with the one record. Okay, if I have like a lakhs of records, I cannot able to delete in this way. Got it right? I cannot able to delete in this way for that reason. So for every group, so you are treating like as every employee number is one group. Every employee number is one group. Now, see, I'm using here okay, select max of row ID. So నీకున్న row ID లో AAP, AAQ అని ఉన్నాయి. So now you are saying like a 7369. There are two employee numbers with the same employee number. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఏంటి AA అనేది ట్రిపుల్ ఏ అనేది స్మాల్, AO అనేది క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్. సో మాక్సిమం వాల్యూ అనేది AAO ఉంటుంది. So if you use the maximum function for this, okay, see, use this max function for this one of the employee. Max 1369 లో max అనేది AA AAA కాకుండా AAO అనేది విల్ గెట్ ది మ్యాక్స్ ఆఫ్ రో నెంబర్ కాదు కదా, రో ఐడి కదా. AAO అనేది maximum row ID. Okay, now you are finding like a for one of the employee in this way. Now I am simply saying like a for every group is my one of the employee. So నేను ఏంటి employee number wise ఒక row ID అనేది తెలుసుకోవాలి. Employee number group by employee number. For every group, now I am getting like a minimum row ID or sorry, maximum row ID. Okay, check with the minimum row ID and the maximum row ID both are same or not. So min max of row ID, min of row ID. See, ఏ రికార్డ్కి అయితే సేమ్ ఉంటాయి 7499 అనే ఎంప్లాయీకి రెండింటికి కూడా సేమ్ ఉంటాయి. ఎందుకంటే the 7499 is having with the only one entry in the employee table because we already deleted one of the duplicate record. Okay, so if you are earning like 500 rupees, you are only one guy earning in your family. If you see like who is earning the money, so అంటే నీకు నువ్వు చూసుకున్నప్పుడు గ్రేటెస్ట్ వాల్యూ నీదే అవుతుంది, లీస్ట్ వాల్యూ నీదే అవుతుంది, యావరేజ్ అయినా కూడా నీదే వాల్యూ అవుతుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నౌ there is no duplicate value. If you see like maximum, minimum, both are same. Okay, so now see what are the values is having different here. These are all the duplicate records. Okay, so now we need to keep either of the minimum row ID or maximum row ID. So మీకు latest record మీరు ఉంచుకోవాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు సో యూజ్ ది maximum row ID. ఓల్డెస్ట్ వాల్యూ మీరు ఫస్ట్ ఎవరైతే ఇన్సర్ట్ చేశారో ఆ వాల్యూ నాకు కావాలి, అప్పుడు మినిమం రో ఐడి తీసుకో. సో మీకు గ్రేటెస్ట్ వాల్యూ కావాలి అన్నప్పుడు గ్రేటెస్ట్ వాల్యూ అంటే ఏంటి? సో లేటెస్ట్ రికార్డ్ని మీరు తీసుకోవాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు యూజ్ ది మాక్సిమం రో ఐడి. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు కీప్ లైక్ ఓల్డెస్ట్ వాల్యూ యూజ్ ది minimum row ID. Okay, now I'm saying like a max of row ID. So for every employee there is some max of row ID. Now I'm taking that. Okay, now so there is a place you can see all the employee numbers and the row IDs for every employee. See, ఏంటి ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్, రో ఐడి, రో నెంబర్ అని చెప్పి నీ దగ్గర ఉన్న లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ రో నెంబర్స్, రో ఐడీస్ తీసుకున్నాను. నో యూజ్ అబౌట్ ది రో నెంబర్, no use about the row number, simply I mention here. We have totally 27 records. Okay, so we have the list of the things here, employee number comma row ID for every group. Okay, so we need to use where, okay, employee number comma row ID in. సో ఇన్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, మీరు ఏదైతే కీప్ చేయాలనుకున్న రికార్డులు ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో సో యూ విల్ గెట్ దట్ ఆల్ రికార్డ్స్, 14 records. Okay, so other than these 14 records we have totally 13 records duplicates. So if you want to display the distinct records, we'll use this query. So if you want to delete this, we need to keep these 14 records and need to remove the remaining records. అర్థమవుతుందా? We have the total records minus నీకు ఆ టోటల్ రికార్డ్స్ లో నుంచి రిక్వైర్డ్ రిజల్ట్స్ ఏదైతే ఉన్నాయో ఆ రిక్వైర్డ్ రిజల్ట్స్ తీసుకున్నావు ఇక్కడ and delete that remaining other records. So simply mention that not in. So required information, total information minus required information ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, అన్వాంటెడ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నీకు వస్తుంది. సేమ్ now see here we are getting the 13 records not in. Required information is this. Okay, so waste information is this not in. Now simply use this query and delete the data simply. until records got deleted. This is about the duplicate deletion query. Okay. Now here we mentioned like a row ID. So employee number toti nu check cheyadam anedi anavasaram, because so employee number is having 1 and 1 for 2 employees. So row ID is different for each other. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్ సేమ్ ఉన్నా కూడా రో ఐడి అనేది డిఫరెంట్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ అదర్. So then you no need to mention this employee number column in a select list. So you can able to judge like a so department or employee number wise maximum or minimum number తీసుకొని so delete that row IDs other than the required row IDs from you. అర్థమైందా? డౌటా? ఏం లేదు కదా. So simply delete that records. Both will same. Okay, so whatever the column you are saying in the group by class, సో నువ్వు ఏదైతే రికార్డ్ ఇది డూప్లికేట్ ఉంది అని జడ్జ్ చేస్తున్నావు, ఎలా చేస్తున్నావు? హోల్ రికార్డ్ ఆర్ సేమ్ కాబట్టి. ఓకే, సో సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఎంప్లాయీ నెంబర్ అనేది ఒకటే డూప్లికేట్ ఉండొచ్చు, రిమైనింగ్ డీటెయిల్స్ వేరే ఉండొచ్చు. అప్పుడు ఏ రికార్డ్ అయినా నువ్వు డూప్లికేట్ అని ఎలా జడ్జ్ చేస్తున్నావో, ఓకే, సో వీ కెన్ యూజ్ దాట్ కాలమ్స్ ఇన్ ది గ్రూప్ బై క్లాస్. సో దాట్ వీ కెన్ కాల్ ఇట్ యాస్ ఏ కీ కాలమ్ ఆఫ్ ది రికార్డ్. సో కీ కాలమ్ ఆఫ్ ది రికార్డ్. సో అకౌంట్ టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది, అకౌంట్ టేబుల్లో అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ అనేది కీ కాలమ్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకు? ఇఫ్ ద అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ఈస్ చేంజింగ్, దట్ ఈస్ ఎ న్యూ అకౌంట్ హోల్డర్, నాట్ ఇస్ ది ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ అకౌంట్ హోల్డర్. సో 1 2 3 అనే అకౌంట్ నెంబరు రిపీటెడ్ గా వస్తుంది అంటే హీఈస్ ది ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ కస్టమర్, ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ అకౌంట్ హోల్డర్. సో ఇఫ్ ఈస్ గెటింగ్ లైక్ 1 to 4, ఇట్ ఈస్ ది న్యూ అకౌంట్ హోల్డర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో దోస్ కాలమ్స్ వీ కెన్ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ కీ కాలమ్స్. రికార్డ్ ని ఎలా చెక్ చేస్తున్నాం? సో ఆల్ ది రికార్డ్ ఆర్ సేమ్ అన్నప్పుడు యూస్ యాజ్ ఎ కీ కాలమ్, యాజ్ ఎ key column. We can call it as account number in the account master. Customer table, we can say it is a customer ID. Okay, so transaction table, we can say transaction number and account number. Other number is your unique key column. So if it is the other details table, so you can treat like as a other number is your. Okay, so row ID and row number. Difference between these two are the pseudo columns. Okay, pseudo columns, not your actual columns. Okay, so ikkada select star from employee, row number, row ID antunna. So describe the employee table here. Describe EMP. You are describing the table. See employee number, employee name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission, department number, right? So there is no row number column, row ID column in this list, but it acting like as a column of your actual table. సో ఇది టేబుల్లో ఉన్న కాలంలో లేవు, కానీ టేబుల్లో ఉన్న విధంగా నీకు డేటా అయితే ఇస్తున్నాయి. సో ఇట్ లుక్ లైక్ యాజ్ ఎ వెల్ అండ్ మిరేజ్. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వెల్ మిరేజ్. సో అది మిరేజ్ అక్కడ ఉండదు, కానీ లుక్ లైక్ యాజ్ ఏ దెర్ ఈస్ ఎ వెల్ ఇన్ దట్ ప్లేస్. సో అలానే ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే, సో రో నెంబర్, రో ఐడి, this column we can call it as a pseudo columns. Pseudo columns, it's not the actual column of your table. Okay, ledu anna virtual columns. We cannot say like virtual column, we need to call, definitely we need to call it as a pseudo column. Okay, so meaning it's a virtual column, it's not your actual table columns, but it look like as a your actual columns of your table. See, okay, see if I change like a DEPT number, right? DEPT number instead of NO, I am mentioning like a DEPT number. See department number invalid identifier, because this is your not a column of the table. Department number is not the column of your employee table. Kani for this record you are not getting the error, because these are the virtual columns. Okay, so now pseudo columns, we done with the pseudo column like user ID, username also. See if I mention like a user, so we'll get the batch level UID. This is also your pseudo columns. So you can say it's a general function. UID, user also is the functions. but it acting like as a pseudo columns. Okay, so we done with okay, so we done with the duplicate deletion of the query, correct? Now see, now we are doing like a aggregate functions with the count functions. Okay, now see here. So we are getting the same output if I use the count star and the count of column name, correct? Okay, now I'm mentioning like a count of commission column. See here, for count of commission column, it is giving like a 400. It is showing like a no employees present in a 20 and 30 by using the count of commission column. So ఎందుకు అంటే count of column name, if you mention like a count of column name, okay, count of column name అన్నప్పుడు if the column is having null values, it ignore that null values. If we have like a not null value of any not null value, it can count the values. అర్థమవుతుందా? So who are all present in the family, so I can count that if it is a mentally disabled or so physically fit also, I can count that all the persons. అర్థమవుతుందా? So if you say simply saying like so my family is having 10 members. So earlier government is providing the ration things. For that, like our people are saying like my family is having 5 members, 10 members like that to take the ration. So now you cannot able to see those type of situations. అర్థమవుతుంది, నువ్వు చెప్తే 10 members ఉన్నారని 10 కాదు. So those people will count the number of heads, then will consider as a ration card for you. అర్థమవుతుందా? So in the same way, if the column is having the how many values, how many not null values, so we can say, okay, we can say that is your count of the values. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఏంది count star, count of employee number, count of column name. Okay, so in this place count of employee numbers, there is no employee, so employee details without employee number. So employee table లో without employee number ఎవరు లేరు నీకు. సో అందు గురించి నీకు నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రికార్డ్స్ సేమ్ వస్తున్నాయి. సో కానీ కమిషన్ దగ్గరకు వచ్చే కొద్దీ సో దేర్ ఈజ్ ఏ నల్ having few of the employees. Few of the employees does not have commissions, so it is not counting for those employees. Another thing, select one from EMP. It will display for every record, it will display 1111 like this. If you have 100 records, you will get 100 times 11. If I use the count function for this, count of 1, number of ones here. Okay, so most of the times if you want to, like if you use a star, it will look for all the records are as a, so it take all the columns and count the number of records. So instead of doing that, simply mention like a count of 1. You will get the both are same records. Both are the same results. Okay, we will get the same results. Okay, so this is about the aggregate functions. Okay, so we'll start with the analytical functions by tomorrow. Okay, so then we have reverse function here. Reverse function will help you to reverse the values. I will provide this document to you people. Please go through that and I will see about the analytical functions. Okay, and few things in the group functions. Okay, so group functions lo em chustamante tarvata. Now we have in group functions roll up, cube. Okay, so in the So now we are getting like a department-wise maximum salary, minimum salary. Okay, we are getting like 3 employee information. So and I am expecting like a cumulative sum. So 3 employees ni count చేసినప్పుడు maximum salary, minimum salary both are same వస్తున్నాయి లేదా? Okay, so sum of salary. So department-wise, we are looking for the sum of salary for the each department. Okay. The PT number. Okay, so now in the downside, I need to expect the cumulative sum. Okay, cumulative sum అనేది వీటంతటిని కౌంట్ చేస్తే నాకు టోటల్ ఎంత వస్తుంది. Okay, so sometimes like a client may ask like a, so total salary display in the starting and divide that remaining values in the downside. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఈ సమ్ చేసినప్పుడు టోటల్ ఎంత కింద దాని ఈచ్ అంటే ఈచ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ లో ఏమేమి వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్పి చూపిమంటారు. సో కొందరు ఫస్ట్ ఇండివిజువల్ సాలరీ చూపించి తర్వాత క్యుములేటివ్ సమ్ చేపిమంటారు. ఓకే, సో దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ విత్ బై టుమారో. సో ఓకే, సో అండ్ విల్ సీ అబౌట్ ది అనలిటికల్ ఫంక్షన్స్. విల్ ఫినిష్ బై ది ఫంక్షన్స్ బై టుమారో. Okay, so I am going to stop here.